YouTube Live pour la dernière et non les moindres morceaux de la conférence Legal Creatives. So I'm going to switch to English right now. I'm extremely happy to be live on the global event by Legal Creative with Pierre Lasvigne from Paris, France. He is a French tech entrepreneur. He is the co-founder of Lasvigne Studio, and today he will be talking about world tech platform, how to build a world tech technology-based platform with an open source platform, something around that. It's not the exact title. Please, I'm sorry. It's towards the end of the event, but it is the overall idea for the topic today. So, Pierre, whenever you're ready, feel free to introduce yourself. And Pierre might be talking in English and peut-être aussi en français. So we will see how far this goes. Pierre, c'est à ton tour.
Thank you, Tessa. So let me introduce myself first. My name is Pierre Lasvigne. I'm a French legal tech entrepreneur. I started my life as a developer, and I'm going to tell you what we built in France with the Lasvigne Studio, and how we build it, and how we want to share what we did with the rest of the world, and how everyone in the legal tech field can participate to what we are doing. So first of all, before starting my presentation, I'd like to speak a bit about myself and Thomas Antobin, which is also the co-founder of Lasvigne Studio. At first, I was working for an ODR online dispute resolution system based on mediation for consumption disputes, which was called Justice. And I started there 3 years ago, and I met during a few events in France my new partner, Thomas Antobin, with whom I built the Lasvigne Studio. As we love to say, he represents the legal, I represent the tech, and we are the best match for the legal tech. So now I'm going to share you my presentation. So first of all, I have to share my screen. Okay, here we are. So I hope everyone can see my screen. And now I'm going to share the presentation itself. So, Lasvigne Studio, the French legal tech studio. What we do is we create legal texts from our ideas or from our client ideas. We have many ways to build them. I'm going to show you how we do that. So our goal is to industrialize the creation of new legal texts by giving access to qualified legal data, access to a legal tech-based technological base, and also we share our support personnel and support functions. So how we do that? We build legal texts from internal ideas, but we also help our clients to develop their own legal texts. Today, our clients are mainly lawyers, also institutions, and tomorrow there might be actually anyone who has a minimum of legal background. So to create a project in Lasvigne Studio, we always have three needs. We need business specialists, but for that we have our own business team specialized in legal and digital fields. We need tech engineers. We have our own team of legal tech developers. And the third part to create a new project is the financing. We can help people find financing for the project, or we can work on projects that already have a financial partner as a fundraising or a business angel. To build a new project, we go with 3 steps. First step is what we call ideation. The goal is to validate to identify and validate an idea in the legal tech field, and to see how we can imagine a solution to answer a legal need that happens on the market. To do that, we are looking every day at what's happening on the market. We also have lots of contacts with lawyers and judge courts and institutions around the world, but mostly in France and also a lot in Africa. After the ideation phase, we have the co-design phase, when we make a meeting with the technical team that hears the need from the business team and try to find the best way to develop the platform that will answer the need and establish a prototype of it. And then we go to the development phase. We have a very short timeline for developing projects. It takes us between 3 to 6 months to develop a new legal tech. And I'm going to show you later how we managed to do that, because 3 to 6 months to create a new legal tech is quite a good time. So to do that, we have built a technical base, which corresponds actually to around 90% of what a legal tech needs today to launch its project. So what is it? It's actually many things. It's what we call the Seraphim Assistant, which is a technology we made to help create assistants in legal fields. So assistants are simply like chatbots that can ask questions that we use actually today on many of our platforms to create custom quotations for what you need, or to simply know what we can offer you the best. We also have the Seraphim Connect brick, which is a connector for every legal platform that enables you to share data and personal information between all platforms. We have the Seraphim Contract that helps you create automatic contract generation, and with the whole life cycle, with the validation, negotiation, and signing online. We have the Seraphim Blockchain that we use also a lot. That's actually a blockchain Ethereum connector to allow you to make blockchain deposits or even smart contracts on Ethereum. We have Seraphim Data Rights that allow you to manage your personal data on all those platforms, to accept that a lawyer can have access to, let's say, your employee contracts or any partner contract. And also the Seraphim Marketplace, which is actually quite a common thing, but specialized in the relations between IP experts or legal experts and our clients directly on our platform, and tomorrow on any platform. So we already have built a few legal techs. So we started with Fast Arbit 2 years ago, which is an online dispute resolution through arbitration. That is live since 2 years ago in France, and also will be live in the whole world in English beginning of next year. It's a very interesting platform because it allows any company to resolve a dispute 100% online and through arbitration. Arbitration in France is something that is not well known, but I know that arbitration is a lot more used in the USA or UK or in Africa, for example. And we build with our partners, which are mainly lawyers and judges, the best platform that match the best the arbitration process to allow you to resolve them online. After that, we build about innovation, which is a platform to manage and valorize your intellectual property, on which you can have access to a lot of services to protect, manage, and valorize your IP. You also are able to consume like what we call robot services. That is services 100% online, but we also enables you to meet the best experts that can help you on your project. We also work on Legal RH, which is a platform to manage your human resources through legal processes. And then we have next year, beginning of next year, Smart Close project, which is an awesome project about managing and automatization contract, managing and automatizing contracts through the blockchain. So that's for our products. And to finish with what I want to say about the Seraphim Studio, we developed a truly very interesting collaborative energy with a lot of partners. What we want actually, we don't want to build anything from scratch every time. So we build our own technical base. But if something already exists with somewhere else on the planet, we make contact with them and try to find a way to get a partnership with them. So today we have many partnerships with communities like Monaco. I don't know if you know CMAC, which is at the base of our Smart Close project. It's a community of lawyers and legal workers to create generic contracts in all the world. But we also work with technical partners like IP Census, which is a world leader in trademarks, or Deep Block, which is a very good French partner with the blockchain, and some others. So what I would like to say about the Seraphim Studio is we have a very collaborative approach. As I said, we can build by ourselves with our legal team and technical team all what legal tech needs, but we love to work with others, and we truly want to enable any legal text to offer to anyone their technology. And to do that, we are currently building what we call the Seraphim Store, which is actually like a marketplace for data or technical solutions, on which anyone can connect and like create a card with a few technologies and a few qualified data database, and then build your own legal text with what we created or what our partners created. And to do so, we're working on a smart contract that enables you to add any of those as item in your card, and then have your solution used by others, and you get paid each time someone pays for your solution through a smart contract on the blockchain. So that's all I have to say about the Seraphim Studio. Feel free to contact us or contact me at Pierre@seraphim.legal, and feel free to have a look at our platform. You have all the addresses, the URL on the screen, and if you have any question, I'll be very happy to answer any of them.
Thank you so much, Pierre, for this very insightful presentation. We have some people watching on the live right now, so we might be able to take a couple of questions given that we have a little bit of time. So let's see if we have questions. Feel free to ask them now. I'm typing that in the chat. And while we are waiting for questions and comments from the live viewers, I am personally very curious to know what got you involved into the legal field, given you are a developer. So it's very, I mean, we all know the legal is very complex and maybe not the most attractive field for people who want to do innovation like you. So do you want to share a little bit more about what got you interest for the legal field and why you wanted to work as a developer in this field?
Yeah, of course. So actually, everything started for me 3 years ago, as I said, with Justice. It was my first approach to the legal tech field. I really liked it because I felt it was something that can offer new solutions to users, since legal is actually something very complex that not many person can understand. And I thought that the legal tech could be a very good way to give access actually to the legal to everyone. And I met someone extraordinary, Thomas Satonder, the co-founder of Seraphim Studio and my partner on many projects. He was working for the French government for 10 years, and he had a very clear vision of what the legal tech should be, as he was for the French government the one who opened the data in France, and also a founder of many associations like Open Law, which core business is to give access to the data and the legal data to everyone. So that's actually how I met the legal techs, and I feel very interested working with them. And we started with Fast Arbitre, which is actually a company owned by 7 people, in which I am the only tech associate. All of them are lawyers or judge in France, and they all thought that the French Justice Department was clearly not doing as a good job as it should, and one of the solutions was actually to create an online arbitration court to allow everyone to address disputes on the platform and to find a solution. Our value is to say that we can in France to have a dispute resolved in a classic court. It takes around 2 to 3 years and costs around 20,000 euros minimum. And our approach is to say that we can, with a fully online platform, give you a sentence to a judge in less than 2 months and for less than 2,500 euros. So when they first spoke to me about the project, I thought it was incredible because I know many. At first, I should say that I am an entrepreneur since now 10 years, and I already had companies that were bankrupt because of legal disputes, and because it took too long, because I couldn't get paid by my partners or my clients, and I clearly knew that some kind of platform like our Fast Habit could really solve many issues. And then
wow.
we continued with the other subjects like IP because it's Thomas' core subject, and other because we have now many partners in France. We have something like 150 partners. So people that came to us to try to find solution in their field, human resources or the contracting, the contract management and things like that. And so we develop platforms with each of them. And our model is actually very simple. We have now a very good technical team specialized in legal techs. We have a very good business team, legal team with more than 10 jurists and lawyers working with us. And each time someone comes, if the idea is very interesting from our point of view, we can give 200,000 euros to the guy to create the platform with us on Serafin Studio. Or we can find someone else that will be able to give 200,000 euros to start the project. As I tried to say in my presentation, we always have 3 needs to create a project. First need is the legal team, the one who knows the market and knows what is needed to do to offer a new solution. A technical team that we build internally in the Serafin Studio. And finance, we already had 2 projects that got financed, which are about innovation and legally rash. And it's now a proven model for us that with this money and our teams, we can produce legal tech in 3 to 6 months, and then accompany this legal tech for 2 years.
That's very impressive. So we have actually a few questions from the audience. So I will, there are 3 questions. So I will ask all of the 3, and we'll see what we can do for you to answer them in the remaining time. So the first question is about blockchain. So where do you see blockchain regulation going? Then we have a second question about which countries should lawyers watch for legal innovation, maybe France. And the last question, most lawyers, there's a comment and a question, most lawyers don't understand computers and most computer engineers don't interact with lawyers. Why should we remain optimistic about the future of these two being able to work together? So you might take questions from the last to the first, or any way you want.
Okay, so those are all very interesting questions. I'll start with the blockchain question. I believe that today blockchain can offer a very good answer to a lot of needs, from the blockchain deposit that can be a proof of ownership of something, or smart contracts that allows us to automatize lots of things. The regulation of blockchain is actually a very interesting subject because I believe that in the US as in France, we have lots of questions on the subject. But actually, I think it's something that is due to work in France, as we already have some interesting issues about the blockchain. And often the judges are okay with actually proofs based on the blockchain. So I know that's still a question even in France, because you never know. In France we don't have common law. We have what we call the Roman law. So any judge can say something, but the next one could say the opposite. So it might be a question that appears again in France soon. But I truly believe that blockchain allows a very legal way to create the proofs, as no one can cheat on the blockchain, and it creates a very specific transaction ID that allows us to be sure that this person identified this way made this deposit on the blockchain. So I truly believe in the blockchain. I believe more of the blockchain concept than the actual blockchain we have today. Sorry, because everyone knows that blockchain has energy issues and time consumption issues that are maybe not well addressed today. But I'm sure that tomorrow we'll have very efficient blockchains to do massive deposits and massive calculations based on smart contracts. So that's for the first question. The second question about which country to monitor to see legal text appear. I believe that legal text appeared first in the US. So the US is obviously the best market to watch to see what's happening on the legal tech fields. I think in France we have now a very good community around the legal tech field. I think that beginning of 2017 we were already 120 legal techs, and it's a fast growing number in France. Also because our politicians now are very found the legal tech very attractive, and they are willing to finance a lot of them. Actually, there's a plan in France for 400 million euros to finance the legal techs. So I'm sure that France is a very good market to watch. But I'd say that most Europe countries are very interesting to watch. I was speaking of Justice, my first legal tech company I was working for. It's a Slovak company. So even in those countries, you have very good ideas of legal techs to build. And I know that in Germany, in England, and in many other European countries, you can find some very good legal tech ideas. Suggest also you watch the African countries, because they are going very quickly on the subject, and they are growing as fast as they can. We actually support them a lot through the Legal Tech Africa community we built last year. For an example, I was last week in the Senegal to show our projects, of course, but also to speak about legal techs. And there was a lot of very interested people there, from the ministers to lawyers and jurists and techs, actually. And they are really willing to grow as fast as they can, because the advantage you have is in many African countries that don't have what we call legal debt, or technical legal debt. So they can build brand new solutions to do actually nearly everything on the legal field. And it's very interesting to see that some ideas that we had in France were not possibly working because the market was not ready, or because there were already solutions on the market which were not actually clearly responding to what we thought was needed, but that are too big to compete with. And in Africa, there's lots of legal techs that are brilliant ideas that work in Africa, because, as I said, they don't have this legal debt we have in France and in most European countries. So it's growing very fast, and it's very interesting to see. And the last question, which is actually a core question for legal techs, I truly believe it's funny because last week in Senegal, someone asked me quite the same question, saying, "Well, you know, legal lawyers should try to apprehend tech to build their own legal text." And I was saying, you know, I believe that lawyers don't have time actually to become developers because it's a job itself, and it's very hard to have two jobs actually. And if you try to if a lawyer try to become a developer, he will lose some quality as a lawyer, I believe, because it will take time for them to become a developer, and they might not be state of the art in their legal department. Is spend too much time in development. And the other way around is the same thing actually. Developers that are interested in legal fields should spend a lot of time actually to understand what it is and how it works. And I believe that developers' mind like mine are not actually made to understand fully how the legal works. But I truly believe actually in the collaboration of both lawyers or legal people and developers to build the best legal tech solution that can happen. So I hope I answer the questions correctly.
Thank you, Pierre, for providing so much value on this live presentation with us. I am sure I have not heard back from the viewers, but I am pretty confident that should they have more questions, they will join in the community. And I believe you are already inside the Slack community. Or if you are not yet, I strongly encourage you join so you can continue interacting with lawyers, law firms, other startups, and legal tech entrepreneurs to continue talking about what you do at Lasvigne Studio and having more conversations around those topics. Actually, Brandon says, excellent answers. Thanks. So
thank you, Tessa.
Thank you so much, Pierre. We are actually running out of time. Julia says, great to hear that. Very, she says, encouraging talk. So you are bringing lots of hope, I guess, for all of us, because Lasvigne Studio seems like a absolutely fantastic platform, and I will definitely be looking at your website and more of what you do. Do you want to say one last thing to our live viewers or replay viewers? You have a call to action or anything you want to mention to the people on the live?
Well, again, feel free to contact us at pierre@serafin.legal or directly on our platforms. We'll be glad to hear from you and see what we can do together. If you want to create your own legal tech, or if you have some technical technical solutions to share with us, or if you want us to distribute your technical solutions, or even if you are a data provider. We already have lots of qualified data providers in legal fields, but we are always looking for new ones around the world on any legal subject. So again, feel free to contact us and we'll see what we can do together.
Well, that's wonderful. It was an absolute pleasure to have you live tonight from Paris. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your presentation and for all the great work you're doing. And we will keep in touch in the community and by email as well. So we'll wish you a great evening in Paris, and we'll continue with the live streaming for the closing session with myself, providing a little bit more information about the community, how you can join, and how everything is going to work for the future. So stay tuned for the next session coming up. And thank you again, Pierre.
Thank you again, Tessa. Cheers.
Bye-bye.